Hello, hello. Hey, Galaxy Inferno. Happy afternoon. Abby's here. Cleaning yourself. Looking awfully clean, cat. Good job. Wow, Z. Reaction speed. Well, I was sitting around for a little bit, just looking at the cat. So I had nothing else to do. It's shower time. That's right. One of many in the day. I was thinking about it and I realized that my first proposed fix wouldn't keep the markup handlers in sync with the line presenters. I'm not sure if many users change them at runtime. But if so, setting them by reference could be important. Okay, hey Chili. The cat in my room seems to think it's screaming time instead. Are they screaming for something in particular, like play or food? All right, so checking everything we did. Oh, there's quite a lot here. And we got to look through pretty much all of it. Oh, actually, no, we don't. What am I talking about? Most of this is not taking place in a directory that I even control, right? So I should be able to ignore everything in add-ons. We could look through quickly to try to see, but I don't think it's important. Yeah, I don't think it's important. So let's just ignore that folder and go look at everything else, which is a total of like 10 files or something. I'm not even sure. She had food. I think she wants to go outside again, but I'm going home soon, so she can't go outside. Oh, your cat sitting. Oh, okay, okay, okay. I was like, I didn't think you had a cat, but then going home when you're next to a screaming cat. Yeah. So is it an indoor outdoor cat? All right, let's see. So this doesn't need to change. I don't think this mattered. So yeah, no, there is no change to that file. This is changes to my scene. That's fine. This should not be checked in. This should also not be checked in. Looks pretty good. Yeah, that's also good. This is the README just got a new line. I'm just going to delete that. Wait, did it just put it back there? What happened? What? I can't delete this? I guess it's just not being checked in now. Yeah, let's look at that later. Instant typewriter. So these are new files that I added. Not I added, really. But yeah, everything else looks good. Okay, so update yarn spinner. This update caused a few problems. One is that we needed to manifest, or like text was presented instantaneously instead of being typed out. What else do we have? When choices showed, the prior dialogue lines stopped showing. And then warming up the dialogue runner caused an issue. See, I'll do it this way. I fixed all of those things. Yeah. Very common to let cats outside. Shelters tend to not let you adopt a cat if it doesn't have access to safe outdoors. Oh, cool. Yeah. How nice. I love cats. I just love cats so much. My wife and I were coming home the other day and we saw that there was a garage sale. So we went to the garage sale and I spent almost the entire time just petting a cat that was outside. I like hardly looked through anything. It was just such a friendly cat. So the text problem was just needing, yeah. First problem was just needing a typewriter. The second was needing a custom typewriter that wouldn't reset. What's it called? Hey, wait a second. Where's my... Oh, there it is. Wouldn't reset whatever this is. I can't even find this. The third one uses the workaround I described in the issue. Reordering yarn spinners, markup handler, initialization. Okay, that's a good change. Let's commit that. Oh, 3 streams. Love when there are friendly cats and places too. Yeah, it's really nice. How's everything going in general, Galaxy Inferno? Hey, Sarah. Packing is officially one of my most hated activities. So it begins. And yeah, of all the things, packing, moving, and then unpacking, I think I hate this one the most. The moving part, yeah, I don't like, but I don't hate it. And unpacking really isn't that bad. How long do you think it'll take you? Because the move's happening soon, right? I remember a while ago I'd asked, and I thought you said a few weeks, but that seems like it was longer ago than a couple of weeks. All right, this is all finished. Now we got to go look into these issues. So what is this? On dialogue complete is emitted twice. What did I do to accommodate this, I wonder? Not has running dialogue. This is probably what we did to stop this. Yeah, this is solely to work around this issue. Yeah, I think we can delete it now. We're going to have to test that out, though. U-Haul is picking up my stuff in 2 to 3 days, flying out in like 2.5 weeks. And work starts in 3. Wow. So your stuff should probably arrive close to when you do, right? Also, and you don't have to share this. Have I ever asked where you live? I'll just say this. I assumed it was in Europe somewhere, but a U-Haul would imply that you're in the US. Oh, living in SLU. Okay, got it, got it, got it. Yeah. I was there the other day trying a restaurant that I hadn't been to before. And I walked with my friend around the lake. It's really nice. Also, the weather's just great now. Hey, packing for vacation. I'll be moving soon. And we'll see how I feel about moving, packing, unpacking. At least I don't have to choose what to bring with me. Wait, what? The choose part of you're taking everything? Isn't that how most moves work? Or are you just saying that like it's not a downside, so you don't have to be picky? Finishing school out in the New England area. Got it, got it, got it. Okay, yeah, cool. Wow. Well, it's exciting. Also, I think Seattle's a really good place to live. All right, so we've stopped working on this. Now we have one other issue here, but I don't know what I did for this issue. Oh, I see. How do you fix this? Did I write a fix for this? Wait, if I had, it would have been overwritten now. Man, I don't know. I don't know about any of this stuff. All right, diff last commit. And what is this called? Yarn spinner plugin? Can I just search for plugin? Yes, I can. All right, so these two things were added, but did I ever do anything about this? I don't think I did. Voluntarily quit my cushy engineering job in Canada to go do it. Yeah. I always think it's interesting when someone goes back to school after working in the industry because it's not common, I would say. And I think what makes it tough is if you have any, like, even small number of years of experience, it pushes you just outside the kind of normal age range for being at school. And I don't think it's a problem, but I think it could be a problem for socializing, for just kind of, I don't know, feeling accepted or belonging at a place. I get so stressed because how many pants versus dresses? What if it's warm? There's many decisions. Backroom movies, hopefully different. Oh man, I made a generic packing list, and every time I travel, I update it with anything I think might be important. And it's got things down to like what to wear on the plane to be comfortable. So this is all I need. I just look at this and then just throw a bunch of stuff in a suitcase. And that way I'm pretty confident I haven't forgotten something, or like how many shirts I end up using when I travel, that sort of thing. Like if I have access to laundry, here's how much stuff I should pack. So I've got this down pretty well. But yeah, I've heard from many people that they get stressed packing for vacations. I think that does tend to happen probably slightly more to women than to men. Gave up on a reasonably high number of RSUs to do it. Yeah. Feel my work hours are going to be not ideal for a few years. I think in a decade from now, I won't regret the decision at all. Yeah, I think this is one of the interesting things is like, at least based on what you know now, yeah, it sounds like there won't be regrets. Of course, everything can change in between then. Who knows what would have happened, blah, blah, blah. But at least in the not ideal bit, I think I think there's some ways you can mitigate that. I mean, I don't know what your full setup is going to be, but maybe it won't be too bad. Hey Shiki, what's my opinion on agentic coding? I've got my like full AI opinions here. My general opinion on agentic coding is, I mean, it's fine. I think if it works, it works. I don't know if you're looking for something specific. Like, I'm not going to dive into a 5 minute answer here necessarily, but yeah, like I don't have anything against it. And yeah, I think that I probably have a lot of opinions, and I just don't want to spew a bunch of them here. I think the one that pops to my mind is one of the foremost ones is if you're producing any code, whether it's yourself or with an AI, like you should take some claim over that code. So if you're working at a big company and you're producing like AI PRs and sending them to people, and like a human needs to review it, it's like you should probably review it first and see if it makes sense. Oh, 60 to 70 hours. Wow. Yeah, geez, that's crazy. Yeah, I don't think I could do 60. I don't think I could ever do that. It's too much for me. So how did I work around this? I don't understand. Oh, I just need to assign this first. Okay, so then this is already tackled. So I should just say that I've worked around this. All right, let's go test this. What changed here? Oh no, come on, really? Line numbers changed? Wait, really? And this whole blob got deleted. Why is that? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know why that's gone. This is kind of weird though. Every time I modify farming game now, it's going to modify these things. And why is it doing this? Line 692 to line 699. What? Oh, because this is oh my God, this is ridiculous. I think I want to turn this off. Because yeah, I don't think this is going to help me at all. Where's that blog post they had? Yarn spinner. Here? Is this where I found it? No, not that. Here? Yeah, here it is. All right, what is it? YSLS? No, where is this? Here it is. To disable generation, add the define symbol. Example in your CS proj file. Disable YSLS. Yeah, I think I want to do this because you can also disable source generation entirely if desired with a symbol of this. So prevent you from using the yarn command and yarn function attributes and require manual command and function registration. I didn't even know these were things. I definitely should have looked into that. Yeah, like I don't think the YSLS file will help me at all, right? Yeah. I'm gonna have to write all this stuff down. Yeah. Also, it's nice to have long-term goals like this, like a, multi-year long thing. Feels like you're working towards something. This is kind of what I was talking about with my tenet about sustainability here. I know I mentioned this before on stream, but I've kind of said it this way. Like, imagine you have 30 years to do whatever you want. Like, what would you do? And I don't know how most people would answer this question, but I suspect most people would have a plan for a small number of years of that. Maybe like 5 years. It might be, pursue whatever. And then maybe another 3 years, it'd be like, pursue something else. And it's like, well, now there are 22 years left. Like, what are you going to do? And this is what I think of in terms of sustainability. Like, could I do game dev for another 5 years, even 10 years, 15 years? Like, will I still have game ideas? Will I still want to do the grunt work? Will I still want to market games? What will happen? And I don't need to decide. We don't need to be that prescriptive about our lives. But I think it's worth keeping in mind, like, how could you continue to do it? How do you make it enticing for yourself? Indie publishing studio? Indie games? Wow. That'd be kind of crazy. I think games are going to change so much, and just the game market and everything too. All right, so this is work around. Oh, I never tested this, but yeah, work around a yarn spinner issue, or like remove workaround for yarn spinner issue. This is now fixed. So I'm deleting my workaround. All right, I'm actually curious about this bit here. Disable source generation, yarn command and yarn function. I got to look into that. So this is done. This is done. Look into yarn command and yarn function. Mentioned here. Okay. Indie games indeed. Need enough money to fund a reasonable portfolio of titles. Keep the wife happy. So I have some midterm goals I need capital for. Wow, yeah. Do you follow Video Game Donkey at all? I don't even know that's what he goes by anymore, but he made Big Mode as a publisher. And I think they produced 2 video games. What was it? Animal something and that space shooter? Animal Well and Star of Providence, yeah. And I think Animal Well at least did pretty well. I don't know how this game did. Where's their Steam page? Here. Yeah, it did pretty well. Hi, Suyash. I'm doing well. How are you doing? I've been feeling pretty good about this project, just in terms of trajectory of it, how it's been developing it, how I don't know how I like look at it. I think it's been pretty nice. Okay, we got to go test this. Testing this is a little bit tough because well, that's easy. We can fix that. Yeah, other than that obvious problem. Oh, what's that? What was that? Where'd that show up? I don't know where that just showed up. There was some like yellow thing that I think is going to go away at some point. Build? Yeah, where did that go? Open log file? What? Hello? I don't know. I don't know what happened there. All right, well, let's just try this out anyway. I got nothing, which is why I'm trying to publish a reasonably large commercial title. I think being a publisher is probably very challenging. I switched from VS Code. Yeah, check out the rider command. All right, so we're going to go into the farming game. Ah, that didn't work. I heard water. Check out the rider command. Let's see if that works. There we go. Yeah. Okay, so if I just skip through this, everything's fine, right? Yeah. Okay, looking good. What else can we talk to? We can see this. And we can see this. Yeah. And I have a little bit of polish I need to do there. Okay, so let's go deplete my energy and fall asleep. So, Alex. Just can't get the water command off my mind. How's your week starting out? Do you have today off? You'd better. Tell your employer I said or else. Alright, all this is looking fine so far. Oh, that looked a little weird. I think it was just because I was moving so fast, though. So now what can I talk to? I can talk to the bed. I can talk to those people. I just need to test every dialogue in the game. It shouldn't really take that long. Yeah, that's fine. I'm gonna speed this up. Oh, I never tested this earlier. Please work. Oh. Yeah, everything's feeling pretty good. Huh. Oh, wait, no, a player can't do that. I've moved at double speed. The chair. I should probably add a dialogue for the chair. This looks like an incredibly comfortable chair. Ah, cool. Good today off. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right, let's write this down. I don't mind not having the day off. I mean, I could have taken the day off if I wanted to. But yeah, I don't mind it. Add dialogue to the chair in the community center. Maybe something like you feel an overwhelming sense of peace wash over you, knowing that this chair could serve as a resting spot for you. Yeah. Game complete. Time to ship the demo. I mean, this pretty much is the demo. Yeah. All right, so commit this. Let's go write about YLSS or YSLS files. Yarn spinner setup. I personally don't need YSLS files. Yarn spinner language server, presumably. I should write the presumably first. As mentioned in this release being this one. So I disabled it with this in my CS_proj file. It annoyed the presence of the YSLS files annoyed me because changes to my code would trigger changes in that file so that Yarn Spinner knows which functions I was using. Yeah, so we got to actually go disable this now. So define constants. We just got to put this anywhere. CS_proj. Like that. It's red though. Define constants is not allowed. Where am I supposed to put this? Up here? Yeah, that works. So now we won't get a YSLS file. I can go delete this. Delete. And now if I modify farming game to change anything, so I just have hi here. It didn't generate a new one, right? Nope. But if I cut this out and then save, it should generate a new one. Did it? I don't think this did anything. Do you ever get fatigued during long coding sessions? Like you take a lunch break, but I don't think I've ever seen you take a break. I take a break every hour. If you've ever seen the jump game being played, those are my breaks. So yeah. Like I'm not sitting here watching the game play out. I'm stepping away from my computer during that time. But to answer your question, do I ever get fatigued? I don't think I do during the day. So like the way I used to stream was taking 1 8-hour block, taking a very small lunch break, and taking like a couple bathroom breaks here or there. I think that was a bad idea. So the fatigue didn't build up during the day necessarily, but over time I was like, oh, I can't keep doing this. I watch you play. Well, maybe sometimes. This is not working how I expected. Camera zoom. There's some zoom function in here. Oh, not that. Let's go over here. Zoom. This thing just stopped working. I hope they fix this problem. I don't even know if they know about this problem. I should probably report it at some point. But yeah, Command R just stops working for me. And that's what I use to go to functions like this. Whoops. Whoops. Hello? Okay, there we go. So somewhere here we have a zoom function. Here it is. And if I type something like hello, it should modify my YSLS file. Maybe it won't because it doesn't exist anymore. Although I'm not certain what's causing this. Hello, hi. Okay, now it modified it. So where does it have zoom in? Where is that? Line 719 to 726. Okay, 719, 726. So if I search for hello again and I type this, 719 to 726 should have changed. I don't see where it went. Here it is. 707. Wait, what? Shouldn't something be at 720 now? I don't know what happened here. But yeah, this is the general issue. So let's go back to the CS proj file and turn this back on. And now what? Now I delete this. And then change whatever over here. Okay, looks like it's working. So yeah, let's cut that out. Turn off YSLS generation. See, this, I don't use anything that needs those YSLS files, and found it annoying that they'd get auto updated anytime I make changes to related game code. Cool. All right, now where do we stand? Have I gotten through most of this? Yeah, look into yarn command and yarn function. I think we can use these and I think it'll be better, but I don't actually know. Huh, yeah, there it is. Why didn't I do this? How does this register? In Unity, there are 2 ways to add commands. Can I do this in Godot? Yarn command attribute, yeah. Obsolete? What's that? Oh, that's a lot of documentation. An attribute that marks a method on an object as a command. When dialog runner receives a command and no command handler has been installed for the command, it splits it by spaces. By default, it checks for any nodes in the scene. If one is found, it is checked to see if the script attached. Hey, David. Good afternoon. Hope you're doing well. I'd love to read this in like a normal way. So let's go look at it over here. And there's also yarn function. I don't know what the difference is. Marks the method as a function to be registered with a running instances library. Okay, I'm not using this, but I am probably using this. So we just have to hover over this part to be able to see it correctly. Whoops. Didn't mean to type anything. All right, so when a dialog runner receives a command and no command handler has been installed, it splits it by spaces. By default, it checks for any nodes in the scene. This is kind of crazy. How does this know to work for the right dialog runner? Like, can't I do this by registering commands? Yeah, like this, zoom camera out. Couldn't I just have done yarn command zoom camera out? Yarn action methods must be public. Why, I wonder? The Godot ones don't have to be. So I did that here. Now let's try running this. Abby's twitching on my lap right now. Farming game. After fever dream. So we'll know if so zoom in. No, zoom it out is the first thing that happens. So it broke. No command zoom camera out was found. Did you remember to use the yarn command attribute? I did. Thank you very much. Am I supposed to capitalize it like this? It mentions something about this in the documentation. What did it say? Splits by spaces and then checks to see if the second word, if any, is the name of an object. What? How are you supposed to use this? Oh, you have to specify the class? I don't like that. Yeah, I don't think I like that. If it's static, you can call it directly without providing a game object name. All right, let's just try this for laughs, but I don't like this at all. So it needs to be farming game in here. We don't specify this zoom camera out farming game. I don't think this is going to work. I think we need to give it what that object is, and this is just a name. It's not going to like look up class instances. Yeah, I don't even know why I'm attempting to do this because I have very little faith this is going to do anything. Oh, that was weird. No dialogue started. Oh, I said it's the wrong thing. Yeah, it failed again. Yeah, you got to be able to tell it about the object somehow. Run this code. Yep. Okay, so how do you pass it in? Provide two different means, add command handler method and yarn command attribute. Two different ways, why use each one. Allows you to tag specific methods to being in command. Automatically handle the binding and connection to the command in text to the method call in C#. That's better because it's easier. And even static methods should follow specific calling conventions, which may not be what you want. Huh, interesting. Hey, Sir Johnny. Is this Linux or Mac OS? I'm struggling to figure out which is which. This is Mac OS. I think the general giveaway is at the upper left here, these window controls. But yeah, you wouldn't be able to tell unless I showed the dock at the bottom. And even then, I mean, you could get a Linux Windows manager that looks like this. But yeah, the applications I use are all generally cross-platform apps anyway. Yeah, welcome to the stream. I've been using Mac now for a few years, and I like it. Honestly, I feel like Mac hardware has gotten to be a much better value proposition than Windows hardware. And I think the cost is still high, but it used to be the cost was high and you didn't get better hardware. Now I feel like you're getting better hardware at least. So how do you call this? You specify what name the command should have. If it's not static, you call it with the name of the game object you want the command to run on. Game object. Oh, it's got to be in the scene? Okay, if that's the case, then I think... No, I don't think that makes sense. I don't know. I don't understand, and I don't really care. I just wanted to try this out, and I've tried it, and I don't like it. So we're done. Let's move on from this. Roll back. All right, so that part's done. Figure out what on node enter is supposed to be for. Should I be using this? Yeah, what does it do? This is never called. The VM calls into this? But this is just public. It's not even virtual. Huh, interesting. That explains why the setup video had a PC in it. Which video? Setup. Your stream setup video. Oh, the one on the left down there? That was just that's my gaming computer. But I don't stream from that. Yeah, the thing you're seeing in this video is Mac OS. But yeah, the tower on the left side is a PC. So yeah, if you're talking about that right there, that's still in the same position down to the left. Okay, cat, I could really use my legs back. She's like, I don't care. Your legs are mine. Yeah, sure thing. RAM prices have gone up so much that I feel like if I didn't get this gaming computer when I did, it'd probably cost like triple the amount right now. Well, not triple. It'd probably be like double the amount or something. Because I've read online about people who've been just absolutely slammed by RAM prices. So I should be set on my main computer for a while. I don't plan to buy a new laptop or anything soon. But I don't know how many years it's going to be before RAM prices drop, if ever. All right, I'm still not totally sure where we'd use this. And this is dialog presenter base. Do I extend this anywhere? I do here. So technically, we'd be able to call this, right? Because dialog presenter base has this. This is an interface. Yeah. Yeah, so I got to figure out when this is called, because that's the part I don't understand. Can we... I was hoping you could fill it in for me. I'll feel like looking this up again. There it is. Okay, so we put this here. And we just say testeroni. Then we put a breakpoint here and figure out... Oh, it got hit immediately. What? What node got added to the scene? Node name does not exist. Oh, it didn't get hit? I'm just going to restart this. Cooked, too early for me to have replaced it. Pre-RAM price boom. Just old enough that I get brunt of it before China manufactures something that brings Samsung monopoly pricing back down. Yeah. I mean, it should still probably be running fine if it's like 5 years. I guess it depends on what you want to do with it. Planning on upgrading my CPU and RAM a couple months ago and was thrown for a loop, and the RAM I wish list is yeah, quadruple the price. Oh, thank you, Kat. Thank you. Goodbye. Also, hey, Method. And hey, VM. I played Skeleseller. I liked it. When do you plan to release your next game? So the next game is probably going to also take a few years. Like, Skeleseller took almost exactly 2 years from start to finish at the same general pace. So the new game I think is probably going to be like 2028 or 2029 probably. But I don't know for sure. But I'm glad you like Skella Seller. All right, so we're just going to run this. Go into the farming game. And something should break in, right? What? Okay, I'm confused. I'm confused because I don't know what even calls this. Their VM does apparently. On node enter. They now have on node enter and on node exit that can be overridden to respond to changes. I mean, I read this before. In the running node. I don't know what this means though. Also, where's their VM code? Yarn machine? Is it this? Something has to have on node enter here. Yarn spinner Unity? Add a new virtual on node enter and on node exit in a dialog presenter base. Yeah, it's great, I guess. It's not virtual on the Godot side of things. Interesting. Quite likely you don't need them. They're also void instead of yarn task because the VM doesn't. Yeah, so they mentioned the same thing about the VM here. Micro Center is a huge one. I got my SSD from Micro Center, but there is no Micro Center near me, so Raimo actually got it for me. I mean, I paid him, but he ordered it for me. And I've been pretty happy with that. It's a 4 terabyte SSD, and I've never felt limited by that. And actually, I wrote a command called delete all, or yeah, delete old VODs. So I keep track of my VODs here, and if we just run this right now, I have 292 gigabytes of VODs. And yeah, that's just April. So yeah, less than 1 month of videos. You can see each stream is pretty long. I'll eventually get rid of those. Delete all. I mean, I will delete them all eventually. I don't really see a point in saving like tons and tons of VODs when I've got them on YouTube. If I didn't have them here, I might want to. But even then, like, am I ever going to look through hundreds of hours of video? Probably not. Dialectics just think this is what you took today off for. You could have worked. Whereas May, it only tries deleting things older than 30 days. So this must have been 30 days ago. April 24th. Yeah. Would you ever pay for them to do cloud storage? If they started charging for storage, I have probably so many gigabytes of video that I don't think I'd want to pay however much it would be. There are some videos I think would be worth saving. Like the milestone kinds of videos. But like, yeah, this random, day, whatever, 263 of a video game that I've already produced. Like, do I care about this one, for example? No. Nor does anyone else, by the way. It's got 37 views. So yeah, I probably wouldn't care about that too much. Oh yeah, no worries, Galaxy Inferno. That's just a tool for me, so it's not like it's a well-known thing. So yeah, I don't know what's supposed to call this. I think it's the VM. I don't know where the VM even is. Maybe I should just ask. I'll just do it through here, I guess. New chat. Wait, how do you? Oh, I see. There's don't work in a project. All right. Okay. So I use yarn spinner. Actually, you know what? It could just be here, sure, whatever, and just say plan. I use yarn spinner for controlling dialogue. They recently added on node enter, but it isn't called from anywhere in the current code base. They mentioned that the yarn spinner VM calls it. Where is that code on GitHub? Because I don't know where the GitHub repo is. I want to find it and just add a link to it. I have links to everything else here. I have their C# one, their GDScript one, their centralized issues. But where's their VM repo? Huh. Yeah, I have it in plan mode, so it's not going to change anything now. Although if it did, I have a clean slate, so I could just revert it. Docs confirm it exists on dialog presenter base. The important part is whether an upstream runner wires the VM event. Checking repositories. Where is the VM? Yarn spinner VM. There was one other repo that came up. This, for example. What is this? Virtual machine for yarn spinner. Like, is this what they use? It might be. And if it is what they use, then on node enter would be called from here, right? It might have a different name slightly. We could search for like node space enter. That didn't help. Yeah, I don't know. VM is all around us. We're in a simulation. Even this can't find it. It's possible that it's not open source. It's also possible that I'm misunderstanding what I'm supposed to be looking for. There is add-ons, yarn spinner, runtime. Do they have a binary in here or something? They have binaries anywhere? I think it'd be in here. I don't see anything. Yeah, I don't see anything. VM is a banned word while it's a holiday. All right. Let's call it star star. Searching the web for invoke. Yeah, this can't find anything. All right, curiosity. Whoops, did not mean to press that. Yarn spinner VM. It's probably this. The yarn package implements a yarn spinner virtual machine in Go. Yeah, it's probably the C++ one. But yeah, I can't find it. Do you want to allow network access so I can fetch the exact upstream yarn spinner source file from GitHub? No. Just give me a link to whatever it is, and I'll go look at it. I mean, it's got the link right there, but that's the raw GitHub content. I think it's trying to find the same repo. So basically, I don't know what's supposed to call this. And in practice, nothing did call it. So what could it possibly be? Did they mention this anywhere? If I search for on node enter, they do, but nothing important. Yeah, that's it. No, that's a shame. Here's the trail, core VM side. Search in that file or repo for node start handler. Really? What? This is it? Virtual machine.cs. Hold on a second. I don't see that here. Where's that? Yarn spinner / yarn spinner? I don't have that at all, do I? Virtual machine. No. What is this code base for? Core compiler and engine agnostic components for yarn spinner. Friendly dialog tool. Interesting. I don't think I knew about this. Interesting indeed. Okay, so core yarn spinner project. This is engine agnostic. It contains the VM code. So I'm supposed to figure out how this gets to on node enter. Shouldn't something translate this? Well, something should listen to it then on this end, right? Aha. Aha. On node started. On node start. Is that the name of the thing? That's not the name of the thing I'm doing. I'm trying to find on node enter. Well, it should still be in this file, right? On node enter. It's not. And enter is in presenter. What about exit? Oh man. I don't know where this is. Yeah, I don't know where this is. What else did this thing tell me? Public wrapper exposing it. Node enter. I see node started. Sure, that's here. But that's not node enter. On node enter method itself is here. So maybe I got to trace this further back than I thought. It says on node start. This is not enter. I don't get what this is supposed to do. And this was not a helpful answer. Well, wait, if we look over here, let's just copy the file and search for enter with a capital E, I guess. That didn't help. Search for enter with a /B. That also didn't help. It doesn't really explain it. Yeah, it doesn't. They had a blog post or a release thing that says what it's supposed to do, but that doesn't make sense either. So I thought I'll just look at the code and see where it's being called. And I can't find where it's being called even. I thought there was no second stream. No, there was a second stream today. It just was only going to be a couple hours. So I'll probably only stream another hour or so. Because I ended up doing like 4 hours in the morning. Yeah, weird. Weird that I can't find this. Let's go back to this repo for a second. And look at the virtual machine. There's only one file that I think is important here. The variable evaluation shouldn't matter. And the word enter doesn't exist, and the word exit does as part of complexity. But that's it. Yeah. What is this comment? No idea what opcode this is? Stop the program and throw an exception. Okay, that's fair. If it's an exception handler, excuse me, I think it's fine. Well, I am completely in the dark about this. I guess let's just push the responsibility onto Codex for a second. So those function calls seem to be for on node start, not on node enter. Or not even that, right? Node start handler. Where is the call? Where does on node enter get called from? How much have I burned through in terms of usage? Actually, it should reset pretty soon, right? Yeah, another hour and a half. I gotta say, I have not come close to really using my full Codex plan. I only signed up like a week ago, but I haven't really been trying to. And I like doing it to augment things like this. Like, I'm about to give up on this. So if this can figure it out for me, great. If not, we'll just never figure out what this is for. But I gotta say, if I can't figure this out with the amount of research I'm doing, I don't understand how anyone is supposed to understand and use this. Because other people aren't going to probably do this level of work, right? And again, can I make any sense of this? Dialog presenters now have optional node enter and node exit methods. It can be overridden to respond to changes in the running node. What does that mean? Is running node maybe a yarn node? Yarn node? Yarn spinner node? Nodes and lines. Okay, yes, it is. So a node is considered this. So I was calling it yarn block. It's actually yarn node. But what can change in a node? Yeah, what does that mean? Can't find a reference in Godot. There's a reference in Godot down here. Where is it? I've got it in my code somewhere. On node enter. Yeah, dialog presenter base has it, which is this. Dialog presenter base. Here it is. Yeah, here's the code in Godot. But I don't know what calls that. And it says it's supposed to be the VM, but where does that exist? You're right, the VM does not call it directly. The actual call is in the Unity integration inside dialog runner. Wait, seriously? I didn't see it in here though. And I still don't see it in here yet. No, there it is, on node enter. So this doesn't even exist in Godot. Called after the core VM fire's node start handler. Yeah, I think this might be a mistake. I think I'm going to file another bug. And this is the Godot version of this. Dialog runner supposed to have it. All right, I'm going to file another bug. On node enter and on node exit seemingly never called. Okay, so I saw this in the release notes. Where'd the release notes go? Oh boy, where are we supposed to be? Over here, and then releases, and then this, and here. In the, and what is this? 0320? 0.3.20 release notes. And where is it? Node enter here. I wasn't sure what this meant, and I'm still not sure. So well, actually, wait, we could figure it out from the Unity side of things, right? On node started. That still doesn't make any sense to me. Yarn spinner on node started. What is this? Unity event it's called when a node starts running. Oh, okay, I understand what that means. But still, what does enter and exit mean when it's being run? Oh, happy 35 streams. Good job. So I tried finding out where the caller is after doing a bunch of searching through. Yeah. I'm not convinced that it is being called. On the Unity side of things, it's hooked up here. On the Godot side, the equivalent code doesn't call on node enter. Empirically setting breakpoints in my own, where is this? In my own on node enter shows that it isn't ever hit. 175. Resident sleeper. What is this? What are these functions supposed to be for, and when should they be hit? When should they be called? Yeah, I don't know what this is. I'm just gonna file an issue. Yeah, you guys are exactly a 5x ratio apart from each other. All right, well, that was fun. Okay, next up is this. And our easy afternoon task, except for this one actually should be easy. So I have a set of Discord DMs that I want to write some notes on. Godot engine. We should have a troubleshooting section. Yep. Let's go add a new troubleshooting bit here. So this is going to take me a little bit of time reading off screen to figure out. So give me a sec. Okay. I noticed that opening the project on Windows automatically changes the line endings on import. Line endings being changed through Git. So we ran into a problem with stuck in a broken Discord. I shouldn't put that there. We ran into a problem with our game where where files committed from Mac OS had the correct line endings, but on Windows, what was happening? They were being changed automatically, even without modifying files. I thought this may be... Where'd it go? Git core.autocrlf setting, but it wasn't. It's due to a lack of Git attributes. Now we have a Git attributes file, if I'm not mistaken. LSAL. Where's it supposed to exist? Wait, what? Am I making this up? Where is it supposed to exist? Didn't choose Git as version. Oh yeah. I will definitely mention that. Is it inside the Git folder? I don't know where Git attributes is even supposed to go. But it must be a commit that we have, right? Go to file, Git attributes. Oh, is it a local file? I think you only did that on my branch. Should be in the root. I don't think I did anything because I was on vacation. Oh, whoops, not here. Here. Yeah, I don't see Git attributes, right? Meant to go next to Git ignore. Yeah, I don't see anything. Wait, how is this not a problem then? Do you have it? Are you at your computer, Dark, that has the code base? Do you have Git attributes? So you have one and it's empty, but I just never committed one. So all I need to do is make an empty file. I guess I never had the problem to begin with. I mean, I do have the problems. Wait. Okay, so hold on. So questions. Number one is, do you have .git attributes on your machine? And I guess number two is, how was I supposed to do this? So, well, actually, I guess that's the only problem for now. So yeah, let's try to figure this out. I'll have to make a new project, which I'm gonna have to come back and do this. So right in my notes, I left them incomplete. and try making a new project and seeing what it creates for get attributes. Could just look at skeleton. All right, I got to take a break though. Yeah, I'll figure this out when I get back. Okay, is it jump time? Is it not going to switch? Is it jump time? Here's John every once in a while. It's jump time. Close the game. All right. Let's get back to this. So if we go into Skeleseller, LSAL, we have get attributes here. We don't. Is it in game? Yeah, there it is. So maybe we do have get attributes. Just text equals auto and EOL equals LF. Interesting. Am I losing? I'll spend 100K. Do you remember? I don't know if you were here for this, but then there's a revive command. And the way it worked is it would bring you back onto the screen such that you were in third place. So when there were a lot of players, you could just start, wait like a minute and a half, revive, and then jump the rest of the way. Yeah, it was pretty much cheating. All right, so this is all we need, and we don't have one, right? Game, LSAL, get attributes. No, I don't see one. Okay. So could I put this at the root, or should I put it inside the game folder? Because we could do either one here. I think just putting in the game folder is probably fine. I'll just put it at the root. Get attributes. We can make it a sub game, just controlled through on-screen buttons. Oh yeah, the firewalls too. Yeah. Okay, good. Yeah, the firewalls that didn't go anywhere. Yeah, we could make it a game. I like the idea of an endless runner or an endless jumper kind of game. I need to think of enough of a twist that inspires me for it. And I don't really have anything. All right, let's take a look at this. So this is probably good. This probably fixes the issue. In fact, Godot even makes this file for you. If you, where's that box you have to check? I'll just go make a new project and we'll find out. Or not even make a new project. I'll just act like I'm making a new project. Procedural generation. I don't think the procedural generation would even be all that hard. Yeah. Because, like, the way I picture a lot of these endless games working is you have almost like puzzle pieces. So you might have a course that looks like this. There's a left piece, then middle one, middle two, middle one, middle four, middle three, and then a right piece or something. And you're, well, this is if there were an end. There's no end, and you just keep going. And you just need these individual ones that connect in a certain way. So if you think about it, like, I don't know, you have, I'm going to draw some like terrible image right now. So if this is a room and there's a connection off of here, then you need the flip side of this. So there needs to be one with a connection like this. And then this one might have like an opening at the bottom. So like this can connect to this, and then that's it. You just like match them up. Hardly easy. Profit. What did he call that game? I don't remember the name of it. Oh, yeah, I don't remember. I know Cavino's is Realm Rapture. No, wait, that wasn't even an Endless Runner. What am I talking about? What am I talking about? Oh, man. All right, Godot makes this file for you if you do something, and I didn't figure out the something. Here it is. Go to create. If you just pick version control metadata. Yeah. When creating a project. If you already created the project though, then just add this to the root of your repo. How do you style this for Git? Comp? Oh, that looks pretty good. It's not C, but I don't know what you're supposed to use for style for this. Hey, Codex. Endless runner. It ends and the player needs to put together the loop to make it endless. There's probably something to that. An endless runner where like you need to create the course. What if you're not even the runner in it? What if there is a runner who's running endlessly and you need to keep like putting other pieces of the course into the game for them, and they've got to connect to, oh, that could actually be pretty fun. And they've got to connect to where they are. Right? We should write this down. Oop. Subgames, genres, endless runner. Could be that there's a runner. It could be that you're not the runner, but you need to assemble the course for the runner so that it connects at the right points. If they're on a platform at height equals like 19, you can't put, or you like may need a connecting platform within a few tiles. But if the next one has a platform at height equals 20, they would fall. It's called Glide Runner. Okay. Wow. Yeah. Hey, Kamal. What note taking software was that? That was Obsidian. This right here. This is what I use for taking markdown notes that you find on notes.adamlearns.com. And I like it a lot, but I feel like I can't main this as my note-taking program because of how finding things works. And it's really minor, and there might be a plugin to fix this, but it's not out of the box. So let's say I search for the word line. It appears 9 times in this file. This works exactly how you'd expect. I can go between the different instances. But when I close this, there's no way to search for the word line again. Like on Mac, this is generally Command G. And there's just no equivalent for that. So I have to open the find dialog again and then type in line again and then search and then whatever, do my typing or whatever. And that's just very annoying to me. Whereas if I copy the same thing into, let's say here, I search for the word line, I press enter, do whatever, move around. Then I just press F3. I'm searching for it again. I move around again, press Shift F3, searching in the opposite direction. I don't know why that doesn't exist in Obsidian. It just seems like very common functionality you would want. But maybe I've just gotten so used to some, not really an edge case, but just specific behavior of editors in the past. All right, so add.get attributes. This should fix the new line issues that Dark was encountering. Yeah. Godot offers to do this for you by default, but I apparently didn't choose to initialize Git when I made the project. I probably made the repo on GitHub and then thought, well, now I don't need Godot to make it. But yeah, I'm not going to go and do anything about that because it's so easy to fix. So this is done. All right, how much polish do we want to do for these sorts of things? Because these are all really simple to do right now. I could knock these tasks out. But I don't know if it's best to do now. Hey, PhD Horrible, remember to normalize the line endings just in case. I wonder if this will do anything. Let's go find out. It modified one file. How is that even possible? How did one file have the wrong line endings? Doesn't this mean that it has the wrong line endings on Git too? Or on GitHub, I mean? Oh, I did forget to actually call them. They're just intended to give you a place to trigger custom logic in your dialog presenters when the nodes change. Similar to all other methods on presenters. Yeah. Wow. Well, we filed 4 real bugs now on Yarn Spinner. That's pretty good. So wait a second. This is gotten from the VM though? On node complete. Yeah. Wait. Well, dialog. Hold on a second. Node enter on the presenter, but on node started. This is connected presumably at the top. It is, but it's coming from dialog, which is a Yarn dialog. Does dialog have a VM? I don't know. I don't see virtual machine in here anywhere. Okay. Well, I was on this next problem, which is trying to figure out views effects. Let's go find that. Let's close out every other tab that I have. All right, where's the link? Here. So go to effects. And then can you see line endings on GitHub? I don't think you can do that. Or I think there's something you append to the URL to see them or something like that. GitHub see line endings. And there's some like flag with N in it or something like that. Let's see what type of line endings are already in a Git repository. Hey, Pickle. Good, not quite morning. And hey, Citadella, did you sleep in today? There's a small issue. I had to wipe my rider settings. Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, I was on vacation and I was just trying to take the easy way out. So I didn't know what the solution was and couldn't really test it. All right. So if I revert this, let's do git checkout on that. If I run this command here. All right. And then I search for effects. W/CRLF. I wonder what the W/ means. So then I run this whole thing again. And then I do this again and we search for effects. It still says CRLF. What? What? I don't really care about this. I'll just check this in, I guess. Yeah, I'll just check this in. I mean, really, what could it, as long as this builds, it's just a white space change, right? What could it possibly do? Yeah, it builds. Great. Oh, you need to commit it for it to change. Okay, I see. Gotcha. Okay. So let's write this down here in the Godot changes here. Then it's a good idea to normalize all of your line endings. So now we commit this. So normalize line endings. I ran this. Commit. Now I search for, where'd that command go? Whoops. Of course I can't find it. There it is. No, it still says CRLF. Well, I don't know, and it doesn't matter at this point. Let's push these changes. Fun times we're had with line endings changing everywhere. Well, I thought the core auto CRLF or whatever that was should have been the problem. Yeah. Because I hit this like years and years and years ago. Because I had a friend who was on Linux. But yeah, I don't totally see how this is different. Hey, VA. Time to ask Codex. I'm fine just moving on from this. It's not super important. All right, so the question was, should we do these things now too? Well, when are we going to do polish if we don't do it now? Because the polish tasks are really stacking up. But we have more important stuff to do. Yeah, I think we should save this for later. Cat update. Got a second desk-mounted bed. Now they're both basically being used full-time. Also got this bed of grass for indoors, which is supposed to be used for dogs. They have fun on it. Huh. Interesting. I think someone's trying to sell me something. just, I don't know. Maybe I should just buy one. Then Xyletics will stop bothering me. Funny how he only hit this outside VS Code. Oh yeah, it's true. I never thought of that. Wait, no. Oh, right. Never mind. I didn't think of that because it had nothing to do with VS Code. It had to do with me not starting the project the right way. All right, this is a sign that it's probably getting close to the end of the stream. So Polish, I got to think of how this is all going to play out. This is day 1 of 10 of stabilization, and it's gone well. We have localization stuff that I want to do. We have something else. Anyway, polish should probably be on the list. Maybe some bugs. Maybe the build system. There are just some notes things. That's fine. This is done. Updating Godot. We got to do that. Change the farming drums. Didn't I already have this here? Oh, that's why I moved to the bottom of the list today. And at some point, whoopsie. At some point, the Japanese translation should be done for Skeleseller. I think I was told it'll be done by the end of tomorrow. So this should jump to 100%, and then we can push a new version of Skeleseller. Plan to use the same languages that you previously localized? I'm not sure. So I still haven't looked at Steam sales or anything, so I don't know which markets have gotten me the most, bang for my buck here. But I think Skeleseller did pretty well with German players. And then I didn't see any Italian content for Skeleseller actually. But yeah, I saw some French streams and videos, some Spanish, some Portuguese. Japanese will be finished pretty soon, and then we'll see how that does. I'll be in the June summer sale for Steam. So who knows, maybe a bunch of Japanese players will buy it. One of the problems, though, is that Skeleseller had a total of, I think, 10,000 words. Where does that show? Yeah, here. 10,000-ish per language. I think this game's going to have a lot more. But on the flip side, this game will have a lot of dialogue, and I think dialogue is probably easier to translate than random one-off words. So like everything in this file, we could probably just AI translate and it'd probably be totally fine. Yeah. It was like this. Did you hear that? This must be correct. Let's try the others. Like this shouldn't be that bad. Apparently simplified Chinese and Russian dominate the most popular languages. Yeah, I was debating on translating into Russian. I even was talking to a Russian translator at one point, but he couldn't prove that he was the one to work on any of the games that he said. And for the ones he apparently could prove it, there weren't any reviews in Russian. So like the only way I can really validate people is if I like let's say I wanted to see whatever Stardew Valley or something like that. So I would go look at reviews and then choose a particular language. And for all of these, you can see there are thousands of reviews. Well, not some of these, I guess, but most of them have a ton. So if you click simplified Chinese and you're like overwhelmingly positive, that means that people aren't overwhelmingly complaining about the translation. So it must be good. So if you were like, oh yeah, I did the Chinese translation for Stardew Valley, I'd be like, okay, cool. Yeah, as long as you're in the credits, okay, I can trust you. But yeah. All right. So yeah, I have this stuff figured out. So just tackle more of this list. It may be a good idea to do all of the Weblate stuff or to start the Weblate stuff. Because I don't know how that's going to go. All right, so bug. When you're falling in the platformer, you can see the clear color there. How hard will this be to fix? And how easy is it to repro this problem? Few very popular games having the credits. Does that count to test your game? Testing the game is different. Testing the game, you don't really need credentials for. All right, so here's where the issue shows up. You go over to here, And then you fall and you can see, yep, it happened. It just flickered very quickly there. Hey, Dabber. Been following since August 15th, 2016. Wow. Yeah, I started streaming about a year before that. All right, so what's causing this issue and is it going to be super painful to fix? Let's go find out. Transitional falling. What did I call this? I thought transition was in the name. Is falling in the name? Started falling region. Parallax falling background. There it is. So we add this here. And the flicker that you see is this. Let's get it in proper color. Yeah, the clear color shows to the right. No, there's no background here. That's probably just the clear color then. That's probably just like a problem we fix over here. And by that I meant over here. All right, so where's it happening? How do we... Yeah, there we go. Where's the picture? So it's right... It's up like a block from this corner. That corner's here, and it's up there somewhere. So why do we only see it in that one tiny portion? And what is this color? That must be the parallax? Huh. Okay, what if we just never added the parallax? What happens? Do we still see gray there? Should full screen this. Oh, we're in two different... Oh, nice. Yeah, we see it the entire time. Well, well, well. So, then I think what we should probably do is just draw more of the world. Yeah, I think that's the easiest solution. So how would we do this? Get terrain. Yeah. I either set the camera background to the tile map fill color or just extend the tile map. Yeah, I think I'll just extend the tile map just because I think it's the easiest solution. So we just take this and draw it like so. I don't know how many tiles do we even have to do this for. It was showing like the tiniest bit. So this should be enough already. Yeah. This one we got to take from here. I could just select the whole thing and make this easy, right? Yeah. Nope, I can't. Yeah, so this needs to be a different tile. But these should be fine, I think. And then this ends pretty soon, right? Apparently not. Okay. Now we copy this. All right, done. So we just got to figure out this section. Well, all of this can be the same, right? And then that. Could always use the terrain tab. Yeah, that's true. Oh, wrong terrain. Easy. Thank you. Sorry, Dark. Yeah, easy. Although this is supposed to look like it goes on, right? So we should actually delete this. Yeah, that's good. You can't see all the way over there, though. But yeah, that's pretty nice. All right, so let's try that in the game. I'm not going to change the Fever Dream game. There's a clear color now. Wait, what? You're saying there's something... Oh, yeah, you're right. I don't think you can see this, though, but we'll go test it out. But you can see it. But you can't see the rest of everything. So we got to go change the background. Click, and why is that not working? Yeah, it was visible. Yeah, I thought it wouldn't be. All right, now we go frame by frame and we see what that looked like. Oh, wow. We made it just barely far enough on the screen. All right, so far so good. Good. Then the parallax should kick in. This is fine seeing the clear color here. This is supposed to look broken. And then it starts darkening, right? Well, then I bailed out of it. But yeah, I think it does. Yeah, yeah, frame by frame on stuff like this is really, really helpful. Is it darkening? Oh, no, it's not darkening because I didn't add the parallax back in. Yeah, my bad. That's again. Yeah, now it's dark. Whoop, what was that? What was that when we moved to the right? That definitely shouldn't have happened. Where did that happen? Yeah, there. That should be impossible. Oh, man. And it only happened for a few frames and then just not again? Or maybe I stopped moving to the right. Is it fine if things aren't perfect in future subgames? Not sure if I should keep testing things in other angles. I'm not sure exactly what you mean, but I'll always point out if I think something needs to change. And Spirit for you, thanks for the raid. Hey, Mama Mia. Let me give a shout out. I hope things are going well. Who you hiding back there? No one, not a single person. Just ignore them. That's my clone. Hey, Chris. Yeah, hope you're all doing well. I'm working on a game called Stuck in a Broken Tutorial. It's been a fun time. It's the only game where things are, well, it's not the only game, but things are kind of intentionally broken in parts of it. So I will give you my little demo here. This is our intro to the game. You can see there's normal tutorial stuff going on. Press A to double jump. Get over to here, you can dash. So you work your way over to this section. It says try to collect all the diamonds. It's impossible. Yeah, does that tearing have anything? No. Hey, Striped Monkey. Is the actual gameplay loop started at all? Yeah, so it is, and let me show you. It probably won't look too different from when you last saw it. But the first couple bits are about like setting up and the story. We're gonna get to the first like gameplay focused game as the third game. So you get here, the architect banishes you into a new game. And this is probably looking a lot better from when you were here last time. And while there is gameplay here, this is mostly just a bunch of jokes. So there's some dialogue. We're just gonna skip through this. And there are little things, like if you follow this character off screen, they just start walking at a snail's pace. This is not supposed to be hilarious or anything, but it's like oh, hey, something's off about this game. But yeah, you can dig things up here. You can plant the seeds that you have. You can water them. This stuff's all working now. I don't know if all this was, at least not looking as good before. But then your shovel is a magic shovel that can dig up everything. So you can you get flowers and trees and fence posts. And if you go into your house, you can even dig up your house. If you try using your axe on something, you just throw it on the ground, and now you can run, and you can't pick up your axe again. It just floats away from you. So yeah, you eventually deplete your energy, you go to sleep. And you wake up, you go outside. Haven't seen you in ages. I see that you really like strawberries. So now you can sickle up the strawberries. This guy moves in an even weirder pattern now. And then go into town and start talking to people. Someone for a reminder bit. Oh wait, this is the coolest part of that shovel thing. You can dig up an entire house. I'm like, this is it. I'm keeping this in the game. I'm never gonna tell people about it. No one's discovered it on their own so far. But if anyone ever does try this, then cool, yeah. Feels odd that you fall asleep and nothing really happens. I think it's normal for a farming game. It feels on brand at least. So anyway, you eventually end up talking to these people. And you talk to 2 of them, and then Sidekick comes out of the house. They walk over to you. They have a very long, drawn-out conversation, which I will just skip. And then they tell you to throw strawberries in the trash cans. And you get a key. And he leads you to the community center. Where you get some levers. And then Sidekick toggles the other one for you. And it opens portals. Yeah, so that's all we have so far. This is not a lot. It'll just bring you to the title screen now. That's going to be probably the demo for the game. But after this, it's going to put you into the next game that I want to make. So we started in the platformer. We went to the architect's realm. That's just for the sake of story. The farming game. Then we're going to go to a top-down shooter. And the gimmick here is it's going to be too hard to beat. And you find upgrades. And the game tells you that they're temporary. But they're not. So you will eventually overcome the difficulty, which seems overwhelming. But the game is just going to outright lie and be like, well, you know, you learned as a player or something, and you'll have to find all those upgrades again. But yeah, when you keep getting like plus power, plus fire rate, plus strength, all this stuff, you'll eventually just start shooting like a lunatic and killing everything on the screen. I mean, they're going to be like cartoon enemies. And then we're going to go from there to a game called Loot Boxes. And I find this hilarious, but the idea of this game is that you'll be in a UI where you're just opening like treasure chests, and it's going to be popping out tons of loot and like loot combo, loot bonus, like keep going, loot meters going off the charts and everything. And there's literally no point. The loot is for nothing. The point of the game is for you to eventually step away from the addiction of opening loot boxes and just walk into a new portal, and you'll leave. And you'll go from there to a dungeon racer game where your goal is to make it through a dungeon really quickly, and you're like shooting arrows and slashing with your sword and stuff. Is it handmade or generated? It's handmade, and the artwork is all from asset packs on itch so far. So like that's the farm RPG one. This was, how much is this now? This is $6.50. Yeah, they say that this is 50% off until Sunday. I don't know if they keep extending this sale, but $6.50 for quite a lot of tiles and graphics. So yeah, this is amazing. And this is, I've talked about this a lot, that I love the idea of this game that I'm making, because it's so many different sub games. And a lot of times you try getting an asset pack for something, like this character was $15. It's very high fidelity. The animations are amazing. I really like this person's artwork. Like really, really like it. But if I were making a whole game with this character, it'd be really hard to find also high fidelity animations that are high frame rate and match the same style. So you'd be out of luck. What can you really do, right? Unless you're going to draw the other characters yourself. But for this game, it's like, well, we only need this one character, right? Now we're done. We got some platforming graphics. When we go into the farming game, it's like, we don't need anything. We can just match the game to meet what graphics we have. And the other cool thing is this character is probably going to form the foundation for all of our characters. Like, look. So she's got white hair, a blue shirt, these gold stripes down the middle, and the red boots. I really should have this graphic like at the ready if I'm going to keep showing this. But eventually it'll be in the game and we'll just be able to show it off there. But here's an example of... Hang on one sec. Okay, here's an example of the farming character in that same style. So like, I love this idea that you've got an identity across the games, and that way we just need to customize someone else's sprites with the same colors, and you'll be recognizable in all the games as a result of that. And eventually you'll take shapes that are non-human, like you'll be a fighter jet in one of them, and yeah, maybe in another game you're a box or something like that. Yeah, a bunch of people have talked about Wreck-It Ralph. I've seen Wreck-It Ralph. I don't remember a lot of it, and I don't get the connection to it because it was so long ago that I saw it. But if enough people are talking about it, it must be reminiscent of it. Get so much experience doing many different genres of games. Yeah, yeah. Will you encounter Sidekick in other games or just outside of them? You probably keep the same concept of making them look similar. Yes, exactly. That's going to be the case. You will encounter them outside of it, and Sidekick will also have the same look. And we just haven't settled on what that look is. But yeah, so I'm really happy to be working on this. I think a lot of these game ideas are gonna be like quirky and cool and fun. And yeah, those like one-off jokes that we did, like digging up. Let me speed this up. Like digging up random houses and stuff. Like there will be a lot of those sorts of things. Like your bed talks to you. You're not ready for me. Try using your shovel and planting seeds. A lot of people might just never discover this sort of thing. And okay, whatever. But for the people who do, it's gonna be fun. And even something like this, like your conscience is talking to you. Again, they're not like hilarious jokes. We need some way of keeping the player on track. And same thing like this player, the tutorial man clipping through the trees. Actually, when you get back the second time, he just starts walking faster and faster. Oh, you've got to trigger the cutscene for that though. Yeah, this. So he starts walking in a spiral. And he eventually goes so fast that he goes out of bounds. But at first he just walks right through your house. I don't know. I find this funny. Like someone's going to stumble over here and be like, whoa, what's going on? And not see any of the other parts of this. And then wonder where he went. We are the sidekicks. Hey, Ultramark. Do we get coffee and snacks in this office or what? I think coffee, but not snacks. Coffee's a little cheaper. So yeah, where do we leave off with this? Oh, I was trying to figure out why there was... Where was it? There's some problem going on with when you're moving to the right here. Oh, Mr. CEO talking. A sidekick spin-off game? Yeah, I guess it could be. Although I don't know if that character is going to be as iconic. I think this one's got a very cool design. All right, so we got to go to this, and I've got to drop down again. I'm going to hold right the entire time. Nothing bad happened. Can I do that again? No. But I can go to the title screen and do it again, right? Maybe I have to jump all the way to the side and then hold right. Aha! It did it then. Okay, so I have to be all the way on the right side. But why would that cause a problem? Our parallax background is at like a 20x scale. Yeah, what if I set it to 200? Then just hit play. All of a sudden, everything's polished and Sidekick looks ultra cool. Yeah, I'm really happy Quickie Joe is working on this. And he's done some logo mock-ups so far. Like, things are moving along. Everything's, yeah. This has been a great experience so far. That didn't fix it. Man, what's going on? This has a repeat size set already, and it should be exactly the size of the viewport, right? What's the viewport size? 640 by 360. 640 by 360. That should be all we have to do, I think. Yeah, maybe it was like 32 pixels extra. Maybe that's what was causing this. I don't know, but at least it's easy to repro. So if it happens, then we know we haven't fixed it. It's still happening. Yeah, I don't know what's causing that. Yeah, I'm not sure. All right, so I fixed that just by fixing the tile map. But another problem, if you go all the way to the right and hold right as you fall, you eventually see the clear color on the left side of the screen. Does that happen when you're on the left moving left and not just on the right moving right? Yeah, Magnus just asked the same question. Shows a board with arrow going up. Should I change it pointing down? No, I don't think that's gonna matter. But I did not see that. All right, let's see. So we fall here and then hold left. It doesn't happen there. Do we need to position this? Is that the problem? Because yeah, I never moved this. Maybe we need to move it. Like global position equals the player's global position. I don't think it should be necessary. This should infinitely repeat. So there shouldn't be a way to ever see outside of it because it infinitely repeats. Cannot stress enough. Hmm. No, it's still happening. And it's only for that one little tiny Oh, wait, no, what happened there too? But I was moving left when that happened. All right, let me try that again. I'm just trying to get more insight into the issue right now. I don't even know how I would solve this yet. Because whatever I did try didn't work. So if I move here and then hold left. Okay, new hunch. It's only once we move far enough. So there's a seam or something like that. Yeah, so now if I move left, now we'd see it. Yeah, so there's a particular X coordinate where that shows up quite a lot. So if we just teleport ourselves to that X coordinate, we should be able to see it. And then we can just force ourselves into a repro where it happens all the time, right? So at some point, we're going to make the character land. Couldn't we just freeze them in the air? Could we? Create architect realm. What if I just never did this and never did this? Yeah, let's just try that. It means we'll never land. Eventually, we'll fall so far that I don't think the camera can, or the parallax effect will break because we have a limit of like 1 billion or something. But this will never happen in the real game. So if we see something messing up like that, we can just ignore it. But in terms of horizontal distance, like we'll get to this point where it's going to look bad. Wait, what? Didn't happen there. Is it only when we create the architectural? What does this do? This is when we're like 100 pixels away from falling into this thing. If that's the case, then I think I know what's going on. Wow. I think it's gray coming from the architect's realm, but I'm still not positive. And the timing doesn't seem to add up. No, we still have several seconds before you land. Can we look over there? Or you can land on this. No, you can't look over there. I don't know what the problem is. But if I just cut this out. Oh, wait, maybe it's coming from freeing the parallax background? No, it can't be. Is there more things to do in the farm after the dream or just harvest the strawberries? The farming game is more for the sake of story. And I don't think there's any way to make a farming game fun in the course of like 5 or 10 minutes. I think you'd have to turn it into a mini game at that point. I was talking about like if you made it into Fruit Ninja, it might be fun for 5 minutes. But otherwise, I think trying to aim for fun is not. And there we go. Is not going to be easy to do. So yeah, now we can just have this happen. Oh, that's when we freed the background, right? Yeah. Yeah, interesting. So creating the architect's realm isn't what causes this. And we can have this happen pretty much infinitely. I still don't totally understand. Did I manage the card game design? No, unfortunately. Again, dagger. Yeah, here this is happening now. And it fixes itself. So it's something that, oh no, it doesn't fix itself there. Yeah, so it's like we're off by just a little bit. If I hold left just slightly, yeah, like look, the largest we can get that gray rectangle on the side is maybe about there. How many pixels is that? I think it's 44 because I think we have to double this. 44 isn't special though. Show in pixels, yeah, 42 pixels. $42 pixels. Maybe it's the difference between what does this used to be? 672. That's 32 pixels. You throw cards instead. I still need to think about the card game thing. I think the rock paper scissors mechanic that I came up with is decent. I need to prototype it and see if it's fun. Credit cards. We could have like 7 card game jokes in this game. Maybe the 0.9 has something to do with this. I don't know. Yeah, I just don't know. And we're not even moving that fast in the X direction. And it's only once we move to a certain location. Maybe what we should do is just figure out what X position that even happens at. Process gd.print global position. Yeah, maybe this will help us. Because it's when we get to a certain X coordinate that it happens. Oh, maybe it's when we hit 0. No, we're already positive. There it is. So it's when we are at... Why is it not happening anymore? Hello? What's going on? Where's the gray? Am I moving like way faster than normal? I don't think so. I cannot figure out what's happening here. Didn't I change the background size? Oh yeah, I did. Did that fix it? What? That was the background size it used to be. And hey, it's Zephyrus, and thank you for saying that because I don't think I changed it from what it used to be. Although maybe I did. The tile map data changed? Oh, wait, no. This is the wrong scene. This is the game. This doesn't matter. Yeah. The parallax scene, everything's fine. Oh, I guess I set... Okay. I did two things. And I didn't test this combination. I tested the other three combinations. I set the position of this. If I don't set the position of this, then do we go back to seeing some gray there? But still, this is tricky and feels kind of hacky, and I don't know what's really going on. Yes, there it is, right there. How do we get that back? Gray, hello. Come back. I can't get it to happen again, though. I'm trying to figure out what X coordinate it happens at. Too difficult. I can't nudge the control stick any less than this. So this somehow fixed it? I wonder if this just fixed one instance of this, or if this fixed the whole thing. Well, how about this? If we just changed this to 640 by whatever the other number was, 360, then we're going to see it stay on the screen. And I bet it's going to be at some seam. Yeah, it's probably going to be hard to tell. Check replay frame for X coordinate. Yeah, that's true. I could do that. I was just hoping that I could get it to stay on the screen. This should allow me to get it to stay on the screen. Because this is, I think, the combination we tried earlier. Yeah. Nope. I can't get it again. Very weird. All right, yeah, let's just check the replay. $325. And it just pops out of nowhere. Like at 322, everything is fine. At 325, it looks terrible. And then it starts shrinking until it gets to 365. So 325 to 365. That is like roughly half of this repeat size. But even that doesn't really make sense because we're scaling this up by 20x. Although maybe this has to do with 0.9 as well. Like there's probably some combination of these numbers that lets you get a problem here. But I don't understand how. Let me go look at one other piece of information, which is Godot, Parallax, 2D. They have a bunch of problems that are here. Bonus effect that gives textures the illusion of repeating infinitely. Repeat size tells the node to snap its position forward or back when the camera scrolls by the set value. This effect is achieved by adding a single repeat to all the child canvas items offset by the value. While the camera scrolls between the image and its repeat, it invisibly snaps back, giving the appearance of a looping image. Couldn't we just set this to any number smaller than the actual size that I used here? Like, couldn't I just set this to 10 by 10? Wouldn't that work? Like, maybe we just needed to set a gigantic number. Okay, well, that's obviously bad. So the larger, the better. And if I set this to times 2 times 2, we don't actually have that amount of data in our terrain. So we need to add another bit of this. So if I select the whole thing, and then we draw it here, here, and here. So it should be impossible to see this now, right? Maybe there was a better way to achieve this effect. No, it's still happening. And it was presumably at the exact same spot it was happening originally, but I can't get it to happen again. I was at 322, which I can't get back to. There we go. And then I went up to 325. Oh, maybe it's just because it keeps darkening? No, we tween to where its darkness is. What a difficult problem. What is the darkening actually called here? Tween zoom. dB to linear. Energy, here it is. We go down to 0.25. I don't think this even matters. Although it does give you a sense of how much time has passed. Upsizing the terrain did not matter, that's for sure. I just don't know. Yeah, I just don't know. There's one other thing we could try, which is use a single sprite of a single tile there. Maybe it's something with a tile map that's causing a problem. It is just trying to reposition this thing. Yeah, it happens there. Okay, let's try that. Just see. I don't have any other ideas. So we're going to get an atlas texture. It's going to resemble whatever we have here, which is terrain 32 by 32. What am I doing? Terrain 32 by 32. Good. Then we figure out the exact coordinate of this thing. It's that one. This is what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I don't know. I think I did that right. So 14 times 16. And then 1, 2, 3. So 48. I messed up. Just keep doing plus 16. There we go. I found it. Hey Maya, how you doing? Hey Carson. Welcome in. Thank you for the raid. Raid message, hello. Raid response. And now we don't need to talk anymore. Shout out to Maya. There we go. Yeah. How's everything going? Okay, bye. Generic closing message. I'm doing well. I've been working on a game called Stuck in a Broken Tutorial, and it's been going pretty well. I will show it off in just a sec, but first let's start with this. And we need this size to match. I guess we just set the scale to like 20. Yeah, we need it to match so that this will fit. So 20 times 16 is what, 320? So couldn't we just set this to 320, 320? Let's see if this works. I don't think it's going to work. This is Godot, yeah. And hey, IHQMD. Hey, Split House. Is a game engine considered part of the game? So that depends on what perspective you're looking at it from. Godot actually is made in Godot. And in order for your game to run, you need to be running the engine. So I guess in those perspectives, it would be. So this is the first sub game in the game that I'm working on. So this is called Stuck in a Broken Tutorial. The first game looks like a platformer. It teaches you some basic movement stuff. And then you get to this jump and you're supposed to jump over the platform, but it's impossible. So you end up falling. And what we're trying to do right now is figure out, okay, no, it looks like it's fixed. Yeah. There was no gray there, right? I didn't see any. Let me try that one more time. Oh, wait, whoa. We gotta go starting from over here. Want the same repro we had exactly. All right, is there any gray on the left side? No, I think this fixed it. Wow. So I don't know exactly what I did because I have this positioned such that it's going beyond the origin to the upper left. That could be what fixed it. If I set this to the upper left here with a sprite, so if we did this, I think we'll see gray. But I could have sworn they said not to do this. I don't remember. Let's see. Yeah, this is what fixed it. So we had to put it to the left of the origin. All right, well, anyway, I can show off more of the game in just a sec. Let me just write a note about this. I don't understand how this happened here. Parallax. Do we have anything in any of my notes about parallax? No. I'll write this down here. Like parallax. What's it called? Yeah, just parallax 2D. What is parallax layer? Is that deprecated? Deprecated, yeah. Parallax 2D is showing like infinitely repeatable, is showing seams. So in my case, I had like a gray rectangle, or just a rectangle that I was trying to repeat infinitely, but moving at specific X coordinate would cause it to show the clear color behind the parallax. My fix was to reposition the rectangle so that it went to the upper left of the origin. In other words, I centered the sprite at 0, 0 rather than positioning its top left at 0, 0. Okay, anyway, back to the game. So this looks like it fixed it. I'm happy about this. I want to go back to this and just gut everything I did. Yep. I want to look through it to make sure I'm not gutting anything important. And then what's this? This is the falling background. This got a lot smaller, which is pretty nice. Like this might only be one line, but it's a gigantic line. This will actually load faster now too. Platformer player, we don't need this anymore. And then the only other change is the platformer game. What do we do here? Oh yeah, this was a separate problem. Okay, so now if I run this. Oh, all right. So I can show you why you fall. So you can learn to pick yourself up again. The Dark Knight. Yeah, so let's just teleport back to there. And turn on the slick music I made. All right, so you fall. The whole reason is so you get a glimpse of the beginning of the story here. Now you're in this dark area. This is the Architect's Realm. Not that you know this as a player. There are these cool red lights here. And you created this door. You walk inside. And again, you're not told about any of this yet, but you meet the architect. And you wake up in a farming game. I still love this. This is a pretty good moment for playtesters. So yeah, you're welcome to this village. You're told that your grandpa got you this farm. You can say if you need help or not. Great. And then you can mess around in this farming game. And yeah. So the point of this is pretty much Pokemon vibes? Yeah, less. The point of this game is really just like drain your energy and then eventually go to sleep. So yeah, you can do a bunch of stuff, but if you just like use your sickle over and over, you'll eventually drain it. It's showing just to the side of me, I guess this side of me. Yeah, so now we're almost at the amount we need to be at. There, it started wiggling so we can go to sleep. Oh, it restarts the music. I mean, it probably should do that. So yeah, time has passed. You have 1 billion strawberries now. Harvest them. Let's get rid of this. And yeah, we walk into town, trigger some more dialogue. Speed up the game, skip the dialogue. Rude. Pushing me out of the way. Yeah, so that's where we're at now. I've only been working on this for a couple of months now, so it's decent progress for that amount of time. The pace will probably not pick up at all because these games don't have much in common between the two of them. Like the platformer and the farming game are the ones that are in there now. There's no code that's reused between them really. Maybe some really basic stuff like fading out or like fetching a node in the tree, but it's not like game code can really be reused like jumping. There is no jumping in the farming game, and there is no pickaxe in the platforming game, and there is no whatever else like dialogue in the platforming game. We will probably be able to reuse dialogue stuff though, just different themes. So yeah, the next game I have after this is a top-down shooter, and that will probably use some of the walking code and maybe some animation stuff, but in general, it's going to be pretty different. Making a lot of progress. Yeah, thanks. Is that a custom keyboard? It is kind of custom. It's a Corn keyboard, and if you were to search for like Corn keyboard pre-built, you'd find very similar ones. I took the schematic, like the PCB for this, and chopped a column off myself, and then had a PCB manufacturer produce one of these. Do they have one of these here? Anyway, they've got some like similar enough ones that you can just buy. But yeah, I did not want the extra column of keys, so I only have 5 columns instead of 6. Because that's too many keys on a keyboard, right? Who needs all those keys? You don't need that many keys. Yeah, I really like this keyboard. There was something a long time ago called the Cornish Zen, and they, I think, stopped producing these. Yeah, there are no products in this collection. Can I find a picture of this? I thought this looked really good. Yeah, something like this. It's a Corn keyboard, but it was removed. I just want to show a picture of this thing. Yeah, here we go. Anyway, it's wireless, but it had an aluminum body, which was really nice. So one of the problems I have with my keyboard is it's just exposed PCB. Like if I take this off here, this is the PCB. Can I angle this correctly? The cord is fighting me, and I'm trying not to unplug it. So yeah, dust gets in here quite a lot, and it's annoying to clean. I have to do it like every month, and I have a cat, so it's especially annoying. So yeah, I think having a nice case would be cool, and also having it be wireless would probably be nice. Got the same one, just different base. The same corn. Because yeah. Okay, what are we doing? Did I unplug this? No. We're checking this stuff in. Yeah, let's go do that. So fixed gray column with parallax background. I think this was caused by not centering the tile map that we were using in the parallax node. I replaced it with a sprite 2D so that the scene would load faster. It's just a really stretched single color rectangle anyway. Yeah, so that's on. And then this was prevent the clear color from showing. On the right side of the platformer, there was some blank space that was visible after the camera gets unfrozen. I simply filled it in. Yeah. Still have problems using symbols efficiently, but I'm trying. Hey, Snow Goose. I have a Voyager since 6 months. I'm unable to use a regular keyboard. Big mistake. I think after a little bit longer, you'll be able to use a regular keyboard again. Like, I don't think I've lost that ability. And yeah, I don't think you will either. As long as you go back, maybe even like once a month, it should be okay. Anyway, problems using symbols. So something I think could be helpful is like have your key map showing on screen at any given time. Like this is my symbol layer. Well, actually that is a triple backtick. So this one key types 3 keys. But yeah, here's my symbol layer. If you just had this on your screen and then you could be like, oh, I need a hyphen right now. Oh, there it is. Or I need like an opening square bracket. There it is. Let's type in the closing ones too. But yeah. Because I think this is a very underutilized primitive trick, which is post a note on your monitor. And it's not like it's a password or something, right? So it's not sensitive information. But yeah, just draw out the symbols, put it on a post-it note, or even just put the ones that you miss the most frequently. Like, oh, I don't know where backtick is, so just put like a bunch of blanks and fill this one in as a backtick. You'll be like, oh yeah, that's where it is, and you'll remember it super quickly then. Think that'd be bad on NeoVim. I think that as long as you have enough of the characters that Vim expects you to have, it should be okay. Like there are some people who buy keyboards that are so small that they have to take like Q or Z and put them on a different layer. Yeah, that would be probably pretty annoying. But yeah, if you have all the main keys on your key map, I think it should be fine. All right, so this is fixed. This is fixed. So here is what I've been dying to find out. We started today with about 24,000 characters. How many are we down to now? What? Why is this not going down? What? We got rid of like 900? Did we add a bunch? I've been working all day. Something's wrong. I don't know what's wrong, but something's wrong. What is 900 characters anyway? Like, how much is this? That's 700. So I got rid of like a little bit more than that. How is that possible? I don't know. Huh. Okay. Well, I mean, we did lower it down. Are you sure it's just this tab? Well, I didn't touch the other tab at all, but I think they're different. Yeah, this one says 2,000, so it's clearly not counting them both, or it would say whatever that number was, 23,000. Yeah, but I thought we took care of more stuff here. I wasn't typing a lot, was I? Oh well, it is what it is. We made progress. That's the important thing. And if we were trying to just target this metric, you could just move text around. Went from this many characters to 23035. Yeah, I'll just write it like this. There. And then fix the ent from. Well, now we're deleting more of it. So this is day 2 of 10 of stabilization. And we're going to get to, hopefully do all 10 days. If we get done with everything on the list, which I find incredibly unlikely, then we can be done. That's fine. I'm not going to like come up with fake tasks just to fill out 10 days. But I think 10 days is a good amount of stabilization time. It's EMI. Guess it's still fine to experiment which thumb keys go to which layer rather than just sticking to one setup and grind it. Yeah, yeah. I think so too. I think you could probably get to a point where it's going to be annoying to try to switch things. And then I would say just make the smallest possible change you can. Like, I still don't know for sure switching to Colmac was a good idea. This is what my keyboard layout looks like now, for anyone who hasn't ever seen this. Where's the... There. Yeah, this. So it's not QWERTY, and I don't think this was the best idea. But the reason why Colmac is set up this way is that on the home row, you have a bunch of common words or like pretty close to things. So like if I want to type, I don't know, star, like my hands don't even move from the home row. Or you type something like there. The only thing you need to move off the home row for is the H. So yeah, the most common letters are all right here. It's more comfortable for you to type. Yeah, maybe. I think there's less motion. I just don't know if it's very important. I kind of want to switch this back to QWERTY and try it out for a while. But that'll probably mess me up even more. All right, well, I think I've streamed for quite some time today. It's been like 6.5 hours. I'm pretty happy with the progress and everything. I will be back tomorrow, but I think we need to end pretty early because I have something at 11:30. But it's going to be more of this sort of thing. So just kind of random coding tasks, random setup tasks, and bug fixes, polish, whatever we can do. Yeah, stabilize, do polish if there's time at the end. Although maybe devote Tuesdays to that and just do like 1 to 2 days. I don't know. Yeah, we'll figure that out later. All right, let me go find someone to raid. I want to pass on the love to someone else's stream. Oh, hey, let's go raid AJ. Although, I don't know how long she's going to be streaming for because she's been online for like 6 hours and 40 minutes. But still, totally fine. Let's go say hi. Thanks for being here, everybody. Thanks for watching, hanging out, spending time with me. Hope you've enjoyed, and I hope to see you tomorrow. Goodbye, everyone.